MREF explained how Nigerians can finally own homes with low interest mortgage loans. Now let's dive straight into it. My name is Juliet Akuche. I'm a real estate consultant here in Nigeria, and I bring you valuable real estate insights as it pertains to the Lagos real estate market. After the break, I'm going to take you right through the MREF and what it means for Nigerians. Now, MREF is the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Investment Fund. Now, this is a 1 trillion naira initiative by the federal government of Nigeria in an effort to stimulate the real estate sector and to help bridge the massive housing deficit in Nigeria currently. Now, MREF is a government-backed initiative that provides mortgages for Nigerians both here and in the diaspora to enable them access mortgage at a single-digit interest rate, which is 9.75%, as against the 27% you would typically get from the commercial banks. The equity contribution, which is a down payment that will be required from the applicant, will be 10%. And that is a minimum. It can actually go beyond 10%, but you'll be required to provide a minimum of 10% down payment. That is to say, if your property you want to buy, for instance, is going for 100 million, you will be required to pay a minimum of 10 million naira as down payment. Now, MREF has been on for a while now, and a lot of Nigerians, both here and in the diaspora, have been able to access this mortgage. I have helped over 100 of my clients to access different amounts from this MREF mortgage loan. Now, the charges differ because depending on the institution through which you approach the MREF. Now, there are some commercial banks who are registered to process the MREF loans, and some primary mortgage institutions also are registered to process the MREF loans for you. So depending on the institution you're going with, it will determine what your overall charges will be. Because while MREF is charging 9.75% per annum, there are other charges like legal administration fees, and these differ from one institution to the other. So now I'm going to take you through some of the key features of the MREF loan and some of the requirements that you will be required to present to be able to access this loan. Now, the key features are this. The limit per applicant is 100 million. So you cannot apply for over 100 million naira, for instance. So what it then means is that even if you want to purchase a property that is worth 200 million naira, you would have to provide the equity for the balance. So if you're buying a property worth 100 million naira, you provide 20 million and MREF provides 80 million. Now, in a situation where your property is worth over 100 million, 200 million for instance, you provide 120 million naira upfront while you get 80 million from MREF. Now, there are other indices. This product is ideally for people who are salary earners or entrepreneurs or people in the diaspora, because you'll be required to provide your account statement, your pay slips where applicable, your ID, your valid proof of identity, and another thing to consider is your age. The limit for this loan is 60 years. So the loan is available for up to 20 years. So if you're 40 years old, for instance, then this loan is perfect for you because then you'll be able to access it for 20 years. The limit is 20 years. So if you are 50 years, for instance, 50 years old, for instance, then you would be able to enjoy this mortgage for only 10 years. And if you're 35 years old, even if you're 25 or 35 years old, the limit is still 20 years. You cannot get more than 20 years. But if you are over 40 years, you're going to get it for 60 years minus your age. That is how long, the tenor you're going to get for the loan. So like I said earlier, the equity contribution is 10%. So if the property you're buying, for instance, is a 60 million naira property, then you would have to bring in equity of 6 million naira to qualify. Like I said earlier, it is open to salary earners, entrepreneurs, or Nigerians who are in the diaspora who have visible proof of income to show that they can, pay up the balance for the mortgage. Okay, so now let's dive right into the kind of property that you can use to access this loan. The loan is only targeted towards the buying of a property, like the name suggests, it's a mortgage loan. And the property that you would buy, in this case, is not just any kind of property, which is where we come in. It's a property that has full documentation. This loan cannot be applied to land. It can only be applied to a property. So the property can be an apartment, it can be a terrace duplex, it can be any kind of building, technically, but it will have to be a property that has certificate of occupancy. So what we do in this case is that we provide you with those kind of properties that qualify for this MREF loan, and we give you an offer letter, which is part of the requirement you submit for this loan. So this is how MREF really works. You get the mortgage loan depending on the value of your property. That means that you need to first of all find the property, and then you know the price of the property. And then with that price, that determines how much you will be asking for the mortgage. The contribution that you are paying as equity for the property will be determined by the price of the property. Then for the tenor, of course, the longer the tenor, the easier the payment plan. So it is usually easier to pay down over a 20-year period, but that is for people who are younger, 40 years and below. However, it is still possible to get 18 or 15 years payment plan, as the case may be, depending on your age. So what you do is 60 years minus your current age. That determines the number of years you have to pay back the loan. Now, if you have taken a 100 million naira house, again, for instance, and you have paid 10 million naira equity, your repayment will be in the neighborhood of 400 to 450,000 monthly. That is if you're paying over a period of 20 years. Now, remember, the loan repayment is on reducing balance method. So the amount you are paying will continually reduce every month until the end of the tenor or the maturity. So if you're 60 years and above, this product is not for you. Now, the beautiful thing about this product is that the moment you provide the property and your equity contribution, and your loan is processed, and the mortgage is paid on your behalf, you get the keys to the property straight up. This is how it works. So for people in diaspora, maybe asking, what's in it for me? Anyway, now when you get the key to the apartment, that's why we always advise our clients to buy property in places where the property generates good rental income. So if you're in the diaspora, for instance, from this rental income, you can start to pay back on the mortgage. So that way, you do not need any further financial commitment towards the mortgage repayment. And that rent will continue to pay that mortgage until such a time when the mortgage is paid down. So that's what is in it for you as a diaspora client. In today's Nigeria, only those who truly understand the system are able to build real wealth. So if you're interested in owning property in Nigeria or investing in real estate in Nigeria, now this is the moment for you. Don't wait until prices go up. Don't wait until everybody rushes in. Send me a DM right now. Let me guide you on how to position yourself for this MREF opportunity. If this video has been helpful, please like, share, and comment MREF so that we can get you started.